Okay, this is a quick training video on posting a new blog post or a new event as you start a new program. And I'm going to walk this through step by step, and you'll also have written directions to do this as well. So as you can see, I'm logged into the website. I have my main navigation, main menu down here in the left column, and I'm going to go down under the not linked section, and I'm going to click on blog, second item here under not linked. This is not a page that we have linked directly on the website. We see the blog post by category, but you'll see it's kind of an ugly view here. Don't worry about that because no one sees that view but you. So my recommendation for posting new events or new blogs is simply to create a copy of an existing post. That's going to save you some time. Now, there's two different options here. You can try to pick a post that's similar to what you're about to post. So, for example, if you're posting something new about basketball, you might go ahead and pick a basketball post. That will just save you a few seconds on your categories, but really it doesn't matter which one you copy. I'm going to actually delete this. I was doing some behind the scenes work with a copy, so take that one out of there. So let's say we are going to create a new basketball event. So I'm just simply going to find the first basketball related post in the list here, and I'm going to click on that. And when I do, I see I have two options. I can edit it or I can delete it. So I'm going to click edit, and it's going to open the post here in a new window. And what I'm going to do is come down here to the bottom, and I'm going to click duplicate. And it's simply just going to make me a copy of that post. Now, no one can see this yet. I mean, we know that because it says draft right here at the bottom. So we're going to go down through the checklist of things you need to do for each new post. So the first thing we want to do is change our title. As you can see, it adds the words copy of, and then it carries over your previous blog post title. So we're just going to revise this here to say basketball training post. So that's the first thing in our checklist. The second thing would be to edit your actual content for the post. So you have a couple of different options here. You can just kind of delete, highlight and delete everything that's here. If you have this typed up, say in an email or a Microsoft Word document, that's fine. You copy it from that source. So let me just pop over here and copy, let's see here. I'm just going to copy some generic text that I have here in my notes. So I'm just going to copy this. And when I come back over here to my content, I'm going to go up here to the shortcut, this little piece of paper, and it says paste as plain text. That's going to take any formatting off of the post. So I'm going to click there, and I'm going to paste my text here in that box and say okay. And as you can see, it was formatted in that paste as plain text box, but here it's taken all those links out and just make sure I'm starting with a fresh set of content. Now, again, you can do whatever you want in this content box. Let's say we want to add a photo to this section of your post. I'm just going to hover over, and you see I get that little gray insertion bubble. And so I'm going to click there. And these are all of the blocks that I can add to my post. So I'm going to go up here and click image, and I'm going to add an image inside the actual post. So just grab a stock photo here. So I'm going to grab my photo and say open. Now remember, as you saw in a previous video, we do have some design options for the photo, but I can imagine that these posts are not going to be, we're not going for any design awards here on the blog post. We just want them to look nice. You do have the option to take the captions off. Remember, you can make the photo itself click through to either a page on the website, a file, or an external link. So lots of options here under your image design. But for sake of training here, we're just going to insert the image and say apply. So now I have an image right inside of my post. Now, this is not the thumbnail for our post. We're going to get to that. This is just within the post itself. Remember too that you can make any text a link inside your post. So if you have a registration link over on your Easy Facility page, just highlight the text that you want to link, click on your link button, and paste your external URL here in that box. Just for sake of time, just going to click that over to Google, and you can see that that has turned it into a link. You can also play around with the headings. So your default is going to be normal. We can sort of make that a heading 2 to make that a little bit bigger. So lots of options, and this is just all right within your post. If you want this just to be plain straight text, that's okay too. So the next thing on our checklist for our blog is our categories. So we're going to click on the word categories. That's the easiest way to see what you're doing. And you'll see the categories that have carried over from the previous post. They are highlighted with a gray box. If I want to take them off, I just click on them and they unhighlight. And if I want to add a new one, I just click on the new one. Remember that we are also featuring programs by season, so you'll always want to pick which seasons this applies to. In this case, we already have a few of those selected. So we've got our categories done. Just click off and your categories are completed. Now we're going to pop over to the options tab. Now, again, you can see it carried over the thumbnail image from a previous post. I can remove that just by hitting the remove button, and using the arrow, I can select a new thumbnail. This should try to make this a square image because it is going to crop to square, and it'll just show better. It's making sure we don't cut any heads off, those kind of things. So you want to, on the options screen, we want to take care of our thumbnail. We also want to shorten our URL. That just makes this some Google-friendly terms here. So I would try to come up with something very short. I'm just going to say b-ball-test. Don't worry about the author. That's going to be whoever is signed into the site, but that has been hidden from your post, so you don't really need to worry about that. You do need to fill out your excerpt text. That's what's showing on all of your pages, just a little short blurb about what the post is about. So this is my short text describing this post, and it really can be just maybe one sentence. Now, we've hacked the site a little bit to use our featured post option to make it very simple to make posts show up and make them disappear when they're over. So we want to make sure that featured post is selected. As long as you duplicate post, that's going to carry over, so you won't have to worry about it. But if for some reason you're done with this post, you do not want it to appear in any of the categories, but we still obviously want it to go on that archive page, we're just going to come in and unclick it, and it's going to remove it from any other page other than the archives. But for now, we're going to leave it selected. And then our last step, we'll just show you the location is going to carry over automatically. So if you are posting an event that is not held at the Elite, you will want to edit the address. But the last step would be to come over to your social tab and toggle this on so that your post would go over to Facebook. I'm going to leave that off for now. So we've completed our blog post, and our last step would be to hit save and publish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so I can show you that this has been published. So if we're going to go back over to the home page, and you'll be able to see that right here is the training post that we created. Now, again, like I said, this was not a square photo, so see how it kind of cropped it poorly. You do want to make sure that you're trying to use square photos for your thumbnails. And because that was tagged on, I believe it was tagged as basketball camp. Yeah, so it's right here in our basketball camps page as well. So that is all there is to creating the new blog post. I'm going to go in and delete this, and as you can see, I just have to hit the delete button and say confirm, and then that post is gone. Okay, so that is how you add a new blog post for any of your upcoming events. And again, you have a written checklist as well on your help page so that you can follow those steps until you get the hang of it.